Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is Saturday, April 2nd, and we will do a live stream for 60 minutes or so. As we get started with this live stream, please know my intention is to interact and answer any and all questions or comments that come through. If you just want to say hello and hi, that would be wonderful. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You have found a channel that is dedicated to helping folks improve their financial future. I wrote a book called One Rental at a Time about my 15-year journey, then went ahead and wrote a second book called 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires because there are so many other amazing stories. Along that line, I have created a channel where we do a daily financial news at 7:30 a.m. live. And then we are lucky enough to have 8-9 millionaires come back each and every week to help you. What I generally recommend, because I put out 5 or 6 videos a day, 7 days a week, is one, tune into live streams, your daily financial news, and then find the expert that really resonates with you. I have an amazing collection of experts. Some will resonate with you and others won't. That's okay. Find the ones that you like, check out their playlist. And then most recently, I've started to do some whiteboard discussions because some of you are visual learners like me, and it has really been a weakness of this channel. I haven't done a whiteboard talk in quite a while. So those are coming fast and furious. So as I mentioned on the daily financial news this morning, I wanted to take a question that I think a lot of you are thinking about. This was a comment on a video from yesterday. I will read it in its entirety, and then we will talk about the mindset behind it and why it's an opportunity for you and maybe a miss for most people. So again, let me read this, then we'll talk about foreclosures, then we'll talk about the process, we'll talk about pain, and then we will get into the question. So here's the comment from yesterday. And I would say the gentleman's first name, but it's in Chinese. And I didn't ask Olivia what it said, so I have no idea. Anyways, in order to have positive cash flow at 7%, that's yield. I would call that yield. I'm sorry. In order to have positive cash flow at 7% interest rate, which is where interest rates may go, in my market, prices would need to drop 20%. First off, congratulations, right? You're doing the yield, you've done the math, and you're going, hey, I can't have cash flow unless prices drop 20%. But we're going to get to that in a minute. My market is not even one of the hot areas. What he's telling us there is, hey, I'm not in Austin or Vegas or Miami. I'm in some little area, and I still can't find a deal. I'm almost certain that interest rates going up and prices going up can't happen. Well, you're wrong. We have historical evidence that it can happen. And I actually think it will happen. So we have history that says it can. And I have 21 years of experience saying it probably will again. But okay. Yeah. Nobody can see the future. My crystal ball is as broken as yours. That said, I look every day and done it for almost 30 years. So we'll see. So in order for me to get better deals in the future than today at higher rates, prices have to stop going up. So again, this is a question that lots of you are thinking. Michael, love one rental at a time. I wish I could get in. I can't. Prices are going up too fast. Cost of capital is going up. I'm stuck. Michael, I want to watch Reventure Consulting. I want to watch all these other channels that talk about crash because they make me feel better. It makes me feel like I have a fighting chance. Well, if that's what you need to feel, go for it. I can't help you because I'm not going to give that to you. What I am going to tell you is the hard truth. You don't need the market to crash 20%. You don't need the market to crash 20%. What you need to do is get off your ass, look at your market every freaking day, and find that one motivated seller who will take a 20% haircut. All of you are wishing the market will crash because you think it will be easier. I invested in a market where my market fell 75%, I was buying things out of the MLS because all of you were scared. Trust me, if the market falls 20%, all of you wannabe investors are going to curl up in a ball and hide because you think the world is ending. And I say that with love because I've been there. Stop hoping for a crash. Stop wishing for a crash and spend that time and energy freaking doing the work. All you have to do is find one motivated seller. I have found motivated sellers over the years that have given me 20, 30, 40% off. I have found motivated sellers to give me 0% interest on 30-year seller financing. I found a seller who handed me almost $1 million because I told him I wouldn't cash him out on a seller finance deal. Do the work every single day. Write lots of offers. Stop wishing for a crash. You are wasting your freaking time. Rates are going up. Prices are going up. Supply is going to come down. Supply destruction is real. So again, if your attitude is, I can't do it, it's not there, it has to fall, the whole market has to fall 20%, you don't need to watch my channel. I can't help you. Your mindset is effed up. It's just broken. Real estate is a wonderful investment because it is inefficient. It's not the stock market where everybody can buy Amazon or Tesla at the same price. Real estate is inefficient. If you do the work, you kiss a lot of frogs, you eventually find a prince or whatever the storybook is. Do the work. Stop whining. Do the work. If you don't know what the work is, spend $320, buy the course, join thousands of other amazing people. Let's go. So comments like that really bug me, if you can't tell, because it is out there. It is out there for everyone. I promise you, finding motivated sellers is about to become 10 times or 10x easier. But yet, it still will never be easy. 10x easier, but never easy. So hopefully that makes sense. I wish you all the best. Many of you have been doing the work for months. It is getting better. It could take a year. All you need to, most of you just do one deal and it's life-changing. Get your head on straight, do the work every day, write good offers or great offers. Dion is a great example. He talked about a fourplex that was listed at 1.3 and his number said he had to write it at 1.1. He didn't get the deal yet. Who cares? Write another one. You just need one. You do not need the market to crash 20%. If the market crashes 20%, most of you will freak out and run away because you think it will go down 30 and then 40 and then 50. Okay, hopefully I didn't scare anyone. I just want you to know it's right there for you. If you're willing to do the work, you can do it. I talk about the wins all the time. It's right out there for you. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that wasn't too ranty. Sometimes you got to shake people and say, get out of your way, get out of your head, do the work, do the work, do the work. So, okay, hopefully that makes sense. Next up, let's talk about foreclosures because I got some cool numbers. I got this graph. I might actually do a whiteboard on this later. I don't know if I have time today or not. But again, a lot of you are about to see some pretty scary statistics. And they are all, I promise you, every YouTube creator is going to use percentages versus absolute numbers. It is going to be comical. And again, if you're watching channels that talk about these things without context of the absolute number, run away because they are trying to make money off you by preaching fear and giving you incomplete pictures. So going back to 2006, the highest year of a foreclosure filing, and they were close. It was 2009 and 2010. 2010 was the worst. 2,871,891 foreclosure filings. I bet you all didn't realize that the peak was 2010. A foreclosure filing in 2010 means you likely started missing payments in '08. The timeline for foreclosure filings, folks, is long and gets longer when there's a problem. Anybody who misses a payment April 1st of this year, like yesterday, they're not going to show up until probably next year. So the time lag is amazing. So here's the deal. The worst year on record, 2,871,891. Do you know how many filings were in 2021? Take a wild guess. A lot of you are watching this. Take a guess. If you're watching this on replay, hit pause, put a number below. Again, remember the worst year was 2.871 million. 2021. Here we go. We had 151,153 filings last year. All year. 151,000. That's not foreclosures. That's a filing. That's an NOD, notice of default. This is not repossession. Yeah, 25,000 repossessions last year, but not filings. Filings were 151,153 filings. So the amount of foreclosures that we can have in 2022 comes off of a number like that. There's going to be nothing, right? Not nothing, right? Not like zero, but inconsequential. Do you know how many filings were in 2018? I would argue that 2018 was the last good year, right? Because again, 2019, some people talk about Q4 recession. So let's talk about 2018. 2018 was a good year. We were years away from this pandemic, right? So 2018, there were 624,753 filings. So simple math says we could go up 400% off of 2021 and we would be back to 2018. Think about that. That's amazing. 400% and we're back to 2018. Go back to 2012, which most people would say in 2012 we were already coming out of the Great Recession. The bottom was in. Certainly was in Fresno. I think that Fresno was 2010/11. 2012, 1.836 million foreclosure filings. So we would have to go up 1,200% to get back to that number. So again, if you are one of those people out there hoping foreclosures are going to rain down on you and you're going to pick up all these diamonds and gold bricks, best case, you're waiting for 2025. It's just not in the cards. Sorry. But yet there will be plenty of YouTube channels and we all know them. Oh my God, foreclosure filings up 541%. Yeah, well, they were 25,000 or 5,000 last month. This is anybody quoting statistics or percentage without giving you absolute numbers is trying to trick you. Okay, so that's that. I think I had one more topic before we get into hellos and all of that. Here we go. Foreclosure timelines. Again, I've experienced this last crisis, so let me give you the true color. Your mom and dad, you own a home. Both of you are laid off. Both of you are laid off. No chance of making money. Just you want to sit on the couch, drink wine and bonbons or whatever. You're going to be 3 months late before anything happens. You're going to go from 30 days down to 60 days to 90 days. At 90 days down, you're going to be considered seriously delinquent. And the bank or the servicer will have the option of starting a foreclosure following what's called a notice of default. Most of them, because they are still being wrangled by FHA and Fannie and Freddie, will try to do loan workouts. They will spend the next 3 to 6 months trying to call you, email you, text you, saying, we want to help. We want to help. We want to help. Let me give you a 40-year mortgage. Let me help. Let me help. Let me help. At the end of 3 months, if you don't talk, and if you do talk 6 months, you will then potentially start a foreclosure filing. Foreclosure filing is a legal procedure where every state operates differently. But the legal foreclosure process will take a minimum of 90 days, and more like 6 months to 9 months, depending on your city and state. So if you add 90 days plus 6 months plus, say, 9 months, you have 15 months to live in your house for free if you want to go that route. So nobody who misses a payment April 1st loses their home this year. You can argue if that's right or wrong. I'm not in the game of that. I'm in the game of reality. So best case, we have mom and dad laid off. Mom and dad do not want a loan workout. Mom and dad want to, smoke crack and drink wine. And they don't want to pay. They don't want to talk to anybody. They want to be hermits. They're not going to lose that home for 15 months. So, okay, let's just realize what the timelines are, and then we can get back to making some money. All right, so those are my 3 rants this morning because I want you to have the right mindset. The opportunities are out there. It will be 10x easier, but only if you do the work. If you need help and you don't know what the work is, spend $320, invest in yourself. If you want to seek out an Easter egg, I hid an Easter egg on my website, onerentalatatime.com, on the courses tab. There's an Easter egg out there that actually somebody else found today. I wrote his name down somewhere, but I don't remember what it was. But you will get one of those shirts as well. Okay. Sorry, a little ranty this morning, but I just want to get everybody's mindset right because it is going to get easier. Hey, Chester, good morning. Tamika, good morning. Hey, Dion, howdy. Ultimate Bargains. Hi, guys. You want to say hi to people? Here. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. This is Happy. If you've ever seen Star Wars, was it Return of the Jedi? Ewoks? When Happy was born, she looked exactly like an Ewok with that dark brown color, but now she's a blondie. So that's Happy. You go back to sleep. And here is Sunny. Sometimes you see Sunny. He likes to interact with you in the daily financial news. He likes to sit in my lap. He was the same color as Happy at birth, and he went dark. It's really funny. Hi, how are you? Say hi to everybody. Okay, go back to sleep. Jeffrey, that's for you, buddy. Hey, Roldan, good morning. How are you? Lumberjack, good morning. How are you? Nathan, good morning. Janelle, good morning. It's a great day to do a great deal. Absolutely. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. They're out there. Motivated sellers are out there. It's your job to find them. Booloo, good morning. How are you? Nikki, good morning. Chester, this sounds like a creative financing solution could solve this problem. Yep. Get creative. Yes. The asking price is never the wanting price. I haven't heard that one before. That's good. That's good. Chris, good morning. How are you? Mandy, good morning. How are you? Excuse me. Be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. Warren Buffett. Absolutely. It's one of those sayings that is, it's really funny. So I'm a Warren Buffett fan. I think the best book written by Warren about Warren Buffett was, I think it's called The American Capitalist. It's an unauthorized biography. I bet you it's 20 years old, might even be 25 years old. But that was my first, Warren Buffett is my hero book. And I never understood this statement. You can read a quote and go, yeah, I get it, of course. But until you are watching CNBC and watching people move out of Bear Stearns with their boxes and watching the world implode, and then watching and doing deals, and then watching Warren Buffett just beat up Goldman Sachs for 10% money and warrants and all these amazing things, I never appreciated it until that moment, right? It was very, very powerful. Yeah. And I think it's coming again. I think let me be very clear. I almost missed this. I believe 2023 is going to freak a lot of people out. I think we are living in a fake economy. I think we rain $9 trillion on people. I do not think the economy is as strong as the numbers make it look. I think we are already seeing pain and stress at the consumer level, and it only gets worse. You need to watch a playlist I have called Whiteboard in that area. If you haven't seen it, I did a 2022, 2023 economic preview. Let's say this year, all told, not too bad. Positive GDP, good unemployment, even though it goes up at the end of the year, not horrible. But things get ugly next year. So you need to watch that. That's kind of still my current thinking. And I will say I did that video a couple of weeks ago, I think. And so far I'm right. In that video, I said unemployment's going to go down, and it did, at least down in the beginning, and wages would go up. I nailed both of those. So far it's tracking. Yep. People saying hi to Dion and the Lumberjack. That's awesome. The three amigos at it again. Don't root for a crash. Most of you have no idea how banks work when a market does crash. Yep. Foreclosures up 400%. Yeah, foreclosure filings as of this morning or yesterday were up 541%. They were up 541%. Most of you would flip out until you realize that's only 25,000 filings. That's all it is. It's 25,000. Oh, that's funny. But again, I promise you, there will be content creators, and we all know who they are, that are going to say foreclosure filings up 541%. Oh my God, the world's ending. Ah! So funny. I did the worst case scenario of an astonishing 9% IRs, and 2 properties actually still cash flow, but one is closing and one sold. Okay, good. Works. Good morning, Palvi. Mike, here's a what if. All right, I like what ifs. If the central bank wants to roll out CBDC and do so, they offer a 40-year loan directly to first-time home buyers at 3%. What impact do you think that does to the system? So first and foremost, I think a 40-year mortgage is coming. There's actually a Federal Reserve president who talked about it yesterday. I wrote his name down. Where are my notes? Here it is. I didn't talk about it on my daily financial news because I was talking too long. Where is it? I wrote it down. Where is it? I think he was the guy. Oh, Philadelphia. Here he is. Patrick Harker. Philadelphia Fed President Patrick Harker says 40-year mortgage could be the answer. Yeah, well, Dion, Matt, and I told you that like 6 months ago, buddy. Thank you for watching the channel. So first and foremost, I think a 40-year mortgage is coming. I don't know that they will put a rate out. The Fed doesn't control the rate. That's a big, very big misnomer. Banks control the rate. I think a 40-year mortgage at any rate helps this. What the government could do is, so again, we got to be very careful. The central bank does not and will not ever control mortgage rates, whether it's a 30 or 40 year. They will control the front end, and they could encourage 40 years. They don't control the rate. They have the front end. That's their only tool. The government, the executive branch, Congress could incent a 40-year. They could have FHFA and Fannie and Freddie and VA and all these other government entities. They could come out with a 40-year product. They probably don't do rates because, again, FHFA and the government, Congress, they don't set rates. That's a bank thing. However, they could give incentives. They could cut checks. They could cover closing costs. They could throw money at it. They could buy points theoretically, but they can't set a rate. That won't happen. That's not their job. Never. That can't happen. But yes, I do believe, to your question, Rob, I think the government's going to get involved. It could be this year, but it'll probably be next year because I think next year sucks. Just as an economy, it sucks. Unemployment's going to double. And again, I say that realizing we're going to go from 3 to 6. And for most of my adult life, 6 was considered full employment. So this is not a great recession. This is not a depression. This is just a lot of people were given lots of money and reduced their expenses, and they didn't save, they spent, and they're going to be in trouble, right? The whole ants versus grasshopper story, right? The ants build for the winter and the grasshoppers don't, and all of that. The average American spends too much money on stupid stuff trying to keep up with the Joneses. So, to your question, Rob, I think the first time homeowner homes, which I own a lot of, explode higher. Explode higher. In fact, I think that will be one of the last things that happens that makes prices go up and then affordability in my market drops. This is so similar to last time, except last times it was lending products, where lending products were out there. They kept getting the marginal. It went prime, alt A, and then subprime. Prices went up. We basically started giving loans to people who aren't qualified. And if we give out $20,000 to everybody who wants it, we're going to give out loans to people who aren't qualified. So, Rob, if that happens, I will be very clear. I will start selling houses. I will kick out my tenants. I will do a full remodel, and I will sell it for top dollar. And then I will sit on cash for a couple of years waiting for those people to lose their homes. We can't give loans to people who can't manage money. So yes, I think that explodes prices higher, and I think it is coming. Chris, Mike, please elaborate on your 5 to 10 year investing plan. Do you plan to cash out, refi your portfolio when values and rents are up 10 years? Please give us some insight. So you got to remember, 10 years from now, I'm going to be 60, right? And as I wrote in my second book, this one, the most meaningful chapter in this book to me, I think she was 71 when I interviewed her. She basically told me, and I quoted it in the book, never seen a good landlord at 70, right? It's just different, right? It's hard. So I'm 60 years old. I would hope in 10 years, I would hope to be, first off, I hope to be twice as big. So simply said, I go from 200 to 400. That would be, I'd settle, I'd want to be at least 50% bigger. So let's say we're at 300. Let's be conservative, because I don't need to do every deal, but I'm not done doing deals. So let's say we're at 300. 60 years old now. Yeah, we probably don't really start selling or unwinding until 65. So maybe that's 15 years out. I don't know if I have another kind of cash out refi cycle, Chris, to your point. I'm closer to the end than the beginning. If I was at year 10 of my journey and we had 40 or 50, I would absolutely do another cash out recycle, right? Recycling capital is just like turbocharge, right? It's jet fuel. It's whatever you want to call it. I don't need to do that at this point. I don't like adding debt just to add debt. So yeah, I don't honestly. I mean, I took a bunch of cash out, sub 4% non-QM lending. Shout out Stephen Dow for helping me. I did that on purpose because I wanted some extra dry powder. I don't know that I have to do that again. I will tell you that my plan is very clear. I believe multifamily is overpriced. I believe rents in multifamily are going to fall. I believe cap rates are going to go up. I believe there's going to be some terrific deals in multifamily. But that probably won't happen until 2024, 2025. So until 2024, I'm going to be buying residential properties, fourplexes and below. In my market, that's where the deals are. And also, I expect the government to come out with these programs, as Rob asked. And guys, I am going to repeat what I did in my first book, One Rental at a Time. I'm going to sell every residential property I have fully tricked out and nice to every homeowner who's getting free money because they will overspend. I did a whiteboard discussion yesterday about Norris Drive that you have to watch. I took Norris Drive from 2002 to 2022. It had a wild ride from 100 to 300 to 75 back to 300. It's an amazing story, an amazing journey. And we nailed it. We bought it at 100. We sold it at 260. We tried to buy it again at 65, and then it's worth 300. I will sell when the affordability index collapses, and I think it collapses to Rob's point above when the government when the government gets involved because of some bigger motive, it just distorts prices. And I will happily sell into this distortion and wait on the sidelines. So I think that's what I'm doing. Next 2 to 3 years, singles to quads, residential money. And then I will 1031 into multi probably by 2025, 2024, 2025. And then I will revisit the portfolio in 2032 or whatever that is, something like that. Hopefully that makes sense, Chris. If not, ask again. Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about, housing market, where the pain is, right? I think a lot of people are looking for pain. This is where I see pain, like early, like canary in the coal mine pain. Builders, cancellations. I think there's a lot of builders that will have cancellations, and we're going to start seeing those numbers next week and the week after. And I think they're going to be shockingly bad, like 10% cancellations. Again, early pain. They have plenty of buyers. They're going to still sell the houses, but again, early pain. Second, delinquencies. Watch delinquencies. Not going to be really that big a problem this year, but could be a problem as unemployment goes up. And then watch for price drops. In my market, there really are 3 tiers. There's luxury, move up, and cheap or first-time homeowners. Luxury is already having price drops. That middle is starting to. The first-time home buyer, still white hot, because there's just no inventory, and they're not building anymore. So that's where pain will start. Good morning, WT. Dan, so is it this 2008 again? Not even close. I would say it's 2004. I think it's 2004. Nessie, good morning. How are you? Leo, good morning. Theta, good morning. Mr. I don't know, G Trunks, good morning. Eric, morning. Dealt with foreclosures throughout 2000s. It's crazy how long they can drag. Yeah. Short sales foreclosures. Again, somebody misses their April 1st, 2022 payment. They are probably not out of their house until late 2023. So no deals for investors until late 2023. Sean, if transactions go down and there are higher rates, do you see lenders loosening lending requirements? Very good question. The answer is yes. Yeah, lenders are in the business of lending, like builders are in the business of building. As long as the economy's not in a recession, Sean, I think banks get more creative. And that's why I talk to 3 different lenders almost every week, right? Matt, the mortgage guy, Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage, Jonathan and Dustin from Convoy Home Loans, I think. Because I want to know what's in the lender's mind. Everybody talks about a real estate market. I actually look at the lending market. Lending drives real estate. Think about that. Lending drives real estate. Not many people know that. Not many people kind of pick that out. So yeah, we have already heard from Matt, Dustin, and Steven that lenders are getting more creative, more flexible. So yes, I fully expect that. Absolutely. Dude, freaking refis are down 60%. I called They're running to 75%, which is exactly what I called 2 months ago. Nailed it. LM. Yeah, everyone is being greedy now. Laugh out loud. Yep. Rob and Lori are in the house. Hi, Rob. Hi, Lori. Mr. Ribeye. Hi, Mike. Are you still bullish for buy and hold investors if we are holding single family homes for 10 years and bought between 2020? Well, yeah, Mr. Ribeye, if you got a single family home in the last 2 years. Now, if you're following my channel, I'm hoping you have 30-year money. Here's the deal. The Federal Reserve kept rates too low for too long, and they have inadvertently created this asset that you and I are going to call the 30-year mortgage. Let's just pretend you as an investor have a 3.5% mortgage, which most of you do, and many of you have better. You have debt at 30 years that is lower than cost of inflation. You have no idea how valuable that is. You have debt for 30 years at 3% in a 5% inflationary environment. You bet your ass I'm bullish. Your cash flow is going to explode as rents go up and your debt stays fixed. That is why I am buying single family homes. That is why I am going to non-QM lenders because I can't get cheap bank money and buying residential properties. I'm an open book. I am telling you everybody what I'm doing. So yeah, I am so happy that One Rental at a Time came out 2 years ago. I'm so happy that thousands of people are in my course and doing deals. All of them. I can't say all. 99% of them, I'm sure, are up in value. I'm really hopeful they all got 30-year debt because that's what I preach. They're all doing awesome. Everybody who did a deal in 2020 because of me really likes me in 2022. And that's a wonderful feeling. All you got to do is get to 4. 4 changes your life. You don't have to have 40. You don't have to have 400. You don't have to have 4,000. 4 changes your life. If you want to get past 4, go nuts. 4 changes your life. Who's texting me? Matt, the mortgage guy's texting me. Hi, Matt. How are you? What's next? Rob G. Hi, Mike. When refinancing, what's the minimum cash flow you want to avoid an alligator? Now, some of this will depend on what you're refining. I'm going to assume it's a house. Assuming you're employed and you have a decent W-2 on a house, I wouldn't mind. Like 150 is like my bare minimum. I'd want 200 if I could. And to be clear, I've done some as little as 100, but 100 is like $100 in cash flow on a spreadsheet means it's zero because something will happen. I'd want 200. 200 gives me room. And again, that's assuming you're early and you're still building a foundation and you're still growing. Later in life, when you're at my stage, you might want 300, but you're not going to grow as fast. Mr. Ribeye, Zuber and Lumber Cash. Oh, that's funny. Yep. What do you predict the after effects of supply destruction will be? Ooh, that's a question I haven't thought about yet. Let me play with that. I guess the biggest thing I think is going to happen is I actually think builders will start building smaller homes. I think builders today are building luxury because that's where the profit is. I think if we truly have supply destruction and the first-time buyers never move, we are going to have such a chasm, like a big air pocket of small homes, that it will once again become profitable to build small homes. I see the cheap home going up in price and the move up not moving. So eventually it's going to become more profitable to do cheap homes. So I think builders will eventually build small homes, which we need. I also think government regulations may finally approve 3D printing. They may approve container homes, tiny homes. I think the outcome of supply destruction is smaller homes being built for the first time in decades. That's what I think happens. Narendra. Hopefully I got that almost right. Any advice on looking to buy a principal residence in today's market located in Florida? Yeah, Florida's crazy. Miami was recently flagged as the hottest, most unaffordable market in the country, which is just amazing. I actually talked to a team in Florida because, again, I have no experience. So when I have no experience, I seek experts. They were awesome to speak with. It's hard. And Florida's going to grow. Population migration. Yeah. The only thing I could tell you, depending on your situation, is you in Florida, and again, every city like Tallahassee is different than Miami. That's different than Fort Lauderdale. That's different than Tampa. But I guess what I would tell you to do is you probably have to look off market. You probably have to look off market. Everything on market, it's screaming. Get a tight buy box. Know what you want. Decide what your must-haves versus your want-to-haves are. Yeah, I can only imagine looking owner-occupied in Florida is tough. I would try to go off market. And that's where I got deals. Like my market was crazy hot a year and a half ago. The 6 deals I got were all off market. Good luck, by the way. Mr. Ribba, hi, Mike. I'm 34, have 5 single-family homes. Nice work. With mortgage rates 3 to 3.4. Man, you're awesome. Would you pay down these mortgages or keep cash in hand during potential? What? Okay, this is not financial advice. But why the hell would you pay off a mortgage with the debt cost 3%? Seriously, why? Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? Especially if you're 34. I see no reason to pay off mortgage debt in any hurry unless you're almost retired or you have 8% debt. 3% debt is an asset. Don't you dare be in a rush to pay that off, assuming it's fixed. Does it say fixed? It doesn't say fixed, but I'm going to guess it's fixed. If you can't find deals that are double or triple that debt, we got to talk. I mean, really? I'm not even sure Dave Ramsey would pay off 3% debt. Now, I say that kind of kidding, but seriously, 3%, I mean, do the math. Let's say you have $100,000 at 3% for 30 years. That means like your last 5 years of payments, like you're spending like $6 to pay it off. I mean, that's just how deflation works, right? Deflating the dollar. I mean, really? Yeah. Why? So, especially at 34, right? If you're 64, maybe, because I understand wanting to be debt free and all of that later, but 34? Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. Not financial advice. Pitt to NYC. I have a 10-unit under contract in PA, and the mortgage broker just quoted me 8.375. Woohoo! Ouch! For 30-year fix. The numbers now look horrible as I was running them at 5%. Welcome to a rising rate environment. Everybody must change their spreadsheet. If you are in my course, adjust your cost of capital. The world is different. Yes, I'm not shocked. Yes, not shocked. I keep telling you folks, if you're running your numbers, you need to call your mortgage broker before you write offers because the mortgage market's different. Very different. Yep. So Pitt to NYC, given that you are new, this is what I would do. This is what I would do. Now, this deal may be not worth it, but this is what I would do. I would now take my 8.375 mortgage payment, put it in my spreadsheet, and I would say, just like Dion did, what price could I pay to get the same yield I expected at 5%? Now, I don't know any of your numbers, but I'm going to guess you're probably down 18 to 20%. But that's a learning lesson. That's why Dion had a $1.3 million property that he wrote 1-1, because his cost of capital is up and he wants a 10% yield. That's his numbers, his buy box, his return. Welcome to the world of rising rates. Do the work. Yep. Learning experience for me as I'm newer investor. Anyone else you'd recommend I talk to? I'm not sure what that means. Oh, probably lenders. Well, you're 10 units, so you got to go non-QM. Non-QM could give you 30-year. If you were going to go commercial, you're going to get 25-year AM and probably adjustable. So I don't know any of the details about any of this, but you're not going to get much better. I bet you I, as a proven entity, probably couldn't get in. I would probably get something in the 7s today. It's just a guess. Yep. Simple life. Simple fit life. Hi, Zuber, and all from the beautiful East Coast of Florida. Yeehaw. You are spot on with foreclosures. Know someone here in 2010 that stayed in their home rent-free for 5 years. Yes, exactly. These people talking about like foreclosures are coming tomorrow is comical. Try new builds. Dion, good morning. Unemployment is more like 50% if you don't count gig jobs like Uber, Instacart as actual jobs. I don't know where you get 50% from. I don't think that's even close. Yeah, I don't think so, but hey, whatever. Think what you like. I'm wrong all the time. Chester, I'm still looking for affordability numbers for my market. Yeah, I don't know your market. Google's your friend. If you can't find it for your market, usually you have to look for what's called an MSA, like the whole area. Usually I would go to your local real estate agents. So if you're in California, you go to car.org. That's California Association of Realtors. I assume, but don't know. I assume every state has a realtor association. That's where I would poke around. Mike, did you know tenants are suing landlords for mold? I am the only idiot that didn't know about it. They've been doing it for years too, and insurance don't even cover mold too. So quick money grab. Okay. I am a foreclosure litigation attorney in Texas and was doing restraining orders this week. We were down from 3 to 5K statewide to 8 to 1100 during the pandemic. It has risen significantly the past 3 months. Yeah, I think it will. I think it does. I think it will rise certainly on a percentage basis. Crazy. It would not shock me if we get back to 2018 numbers. But to think it's going to go back to 2010 is unlikely, I would think. But again, you have the data, so let me know below. Do you see it going back to 2010? And let's be clear, I think 2010, Texas didn't really have a crash because Texas, if you guys don't know this, Texas survived the Great Recession relatively well because their lending products were not approved. The teaser loans didn't occur in Texas. The 2 and 28s, the underwriting was very different statewide. California blew up, but Texas did not. But again, Gannon, let me know. What do you think? Let me know below. Do you think we go back to 2010? Johnny, what's up, real estate freaks? That's funny. Do you have any favorite go-to colors you always use to paint the inside and outside of your houses? Thinking about selling a property, thanks. Yeah, my team has them. I don't remember the official names because it's never just gray and white. My houses, generally speaking, are a dark gray and white on the outside and off-white on the inside. Every house is the same. It's cheaper to buy in bulk, and it saves my ass time. I don't need to think about it. Precious cat lover. Oh, good morning. How are you? Real estate is the clothing that financing wears. Exactly. I never heard that before. That is very, very, very true. Everything else in the economy depends on real estate. Real estate depends on debt financing. Debt financing depends on cash flow. Without cash flow payment to service debt, the present value of real estate crashes. Yep. Debt service coverage ratio, DCR, is better measure of cash flow than raw dollars or net cash flow. DCR shows how much the asset can tolerate recessionary pressures, income, expenses. Okay. Question. I have good tenants who pays on time. What factors do you consider when raising rents? Well, first off, I consider if I am in a rent control area, which for California means the last 2 years. I think it is the last 2 years. I have rent control. So rent control means I have to raise rents every year regardless, or we never catch up. Gavin Newsom has made rent increases in California every year a requirement. Thank King Newsom. If I was in a state that didn't have rent control, generally speaking, I like giving great tenants 1 month or 1 year. If they pay on time 12 months in a row, they don't have a rent raise, and we do it the following year. Although this year we've had some amazing rent growth, so I would probably execute the binder strategy. I'd want to know how far behind we are, the market. I would tell you, for a great tenant, if you're thinking about a $25 raise, don't even bother. Yeah, those are the kinds of things I think of. Squat or die. I love that. Squat or die. That's funny. Yes, squats are awesome. Looking at my market every day, looking for multifamily in Southern California, found a triplex for $665. Congrats, fixer upper. Wanted a 203 loan, was taken off the market because seller didn't want to. Didn't want to sell? Oh, didn't want to sell. Yep. Again, folks, what we're about to see, again, this is what I talked about, supply destruction. Where are people going to move the money to? Right? He sells his triplex. What's he 1031 into? Pretty tough today. Owner occupants want to list, then they can't find anything, pull it off. Sellers don't have, lots of sellers don't have to sell. Yep. Definitely happy finding ORAT in 2020. 4 single family homes, cash flowing rentals, 30-year fixed, all very cheap debt. Like it. Tamika, you are a rock star. Monica, do you recommend buying cash in this times in LA? I am so scared of the moratorium. I had a renter living in my property for 1 year for free, and the rental relief denied after waiting 1 year. LA County. I got to tell you, just straight up, I wouldn't buy in LA County. LA County has eviction moratorium in place until 2023. How stupid is that? Until the apartment association or somebody stands up to LA County, I think LA County is uninvestable. It's a socialist state. It's freaking absurd. I wouldn't pay. I got to tell you, not financial advice, but I would not put $1 in LA County until that eviction moratorium is behind us. Somebody has got to sue. I don't know who it is. The county. I would actually name. I would name the, what is it? Probably county supervisors or someone. The Supreme Court of the United States said eviction moratoriums are unconstitutional. The fact that LA County thinks they are above the law is absurd. But until it is brought to court, LA County can do what they want. That's kind of how our judicial system works. That's how come the president of the United States could say what he wants and twice lose at the Supreme Court. Evictions and the shot. Unconstitutional is unconstitutional, but it takes time to get there. So in the meantime, I personally would not invest in LA County because I would be scared of the same thing. Eric, my broker just told me with the new regs of 1% to 2% Anna had talked about on the conventional investing property, it's just easier and better. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, non-QM is awesome. Easier, faster, it doesn't report. It's just better. Yeah. Fannie and Freddie, April 1st, yesterday. What was yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was Friday, right? Yeah. Fannie and Freddie are at a point, sometimes two. Matt, the mortgage guy, told us this was coming. If you're not talking to Stephen from Velocity Mortgage or Dustin and Jonathan from Convoy or both, you're missing out. Isn't Newsom extending the rent moratoriums for another 15 months? No, that is inaccurate. Gavin Newsom extended it for 3 months yesterday. LA County is the only county with 15 months. So it is not fair. I hate Newsom, but that is inaccurate. Newsom did not extend the moratorium 15 months, only 3 months, 90 days. LA County is 15 months, but that is not Newsom. Gavin Newsom, I would love to tell you, I would love to bash Gavin on that. It's just wrong. It's not correct. Unless I miss something, unless I miss something. Keith, MLS. Very cool. All right, a couple more. Can you make a video with correlation of wage inflation and inflation? Thank you. Wage inflation is inflation. Wage inflation is the number one contributor to inflation. Chipotle celebrated for raising wages to $15 an hour. A week later, raises prices. That's all connected. But yeah, I could probably put something together. Thank you for the idea. How likely is it that unaffordable new construction single families will be offered as rentals in transactions slow and rates rise? Not likely. Not likely. I think there's plenty of building that is being purpose built for rent. I do not think a builder who has a tract of homes that sell half the homes to owners will burn those owners because that would destroy their reputation. Builders, as Greg Dickerson tells us, Greg Dickerson is a builder. In the last crisis, he had $30 or $40 million on the line. He is the big deal. I talk to him every Monday. Watch his stuff. He has this playlist on my channel. Builders will simply cut a deal. They will sell it off fast, but they will sell owner occupant, in my opinion. Regret not doing cash out at 2.75. Lots of us do, I am sure. But I tried to tell you. I tried to tell people months ago to do it. Can you please explain mathematically how mortgage interest rate of 2.8 to 3% over 30 mortgage is lower growing cost of inflation? Yeah, consumer price index last reported by the government was 7.9%. You're borrowing at 3. So take 3% minus 8%. I'm just rounding up. That ends up with a negative 5%. You are borrowing money at a negative interest rate. It's called a negative real rate. Nominally, you're paying 3%, but the real rate or the effective rate is negative 5%. Jane, got your postcard. Thanks. Take a selfie. Tag me on Instagram. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, number one agent of U-Haul. Yep. All right, folks, I got to get going. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody, but I have my 9 o'clock with my students, and I need to go be respectful of their time. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.